Alright, I'm going to try to put in layman's terms why I think a mathematical sequence of 1 of 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 2143 and this other mathematical number 3858, which is 1, 2 times 3858, 7716, and then 5 times 3858 is 19,290. It's like a 5 to 1 way of looking at a solution and a numerical string. How I think they're related via a reckoner, which just so happens that I think has more purposes than nothing. So, and how it literally lines up with some fuckery using the reckoner. Close neighbors with Ramanujan's number. I'm not going to say Ramanujan's number has anything to do with this, but I always found it interesting that the divisors of Ramanujan's number start with 1, 7, and 13. That gets my ears burning. So I'm going to try. I got a couple hours. I got an hour and a bit before work. And yeah. So, alright. Yeah. Again, the first way of looking at the solution, I'd say, would be 3,858. 3858 comes up a lot. The letters that you should be looking for would be, let's say, M's and R's. 13's a circled 3, circled 8. Conversely, C's and H's. 5 would be your E's. 15 would be your O's. Like share is a name. Kind of means that. Anyway, twice that is always interesting. 7716 has a lot to do with Canada and America, I'd say. And 5 times that would be 19,290. Or what looks like the Great Depression in 1929 and the 10th month or October. On the 29th the day it started, and it lasted, let's say, a slash with a circle for 10 years. The Great Depression was greatly depressing. So these numbers are always interesting. And 1, 1, 7, 13, 1, 1, 0, 2143 are interesting. So let's start with 3858. Don't need to know how we got there, but I don't know. Let's look at the division symbol for a second. Why are these chosen? Okay. Well, these are obviously similar because they're kind of rotated, so I grouped these together, which means your things that make it less would be grouped together. And here's my spiel about division. Okay, so let's just do 3858 divided by 2 is 1929. Okay? Ramanujan's number is 1729. So there's a factor of 200 off when you divide. But what is division really? You're dividing. Okay, we're taking 3858 and we are dividing it by 2. Well, that's your balance for your operation. You read this one this way and you read this one this way. Kind of looks like 3858 minus 200. Or, sorry. The answer to this minus 200. So that would be equivalent to that. Do you see what I'm saying? If you were to divide something and then look at the division symbol and interpret it as also by something, maybe it could be that. And I find that interesting that the divisors of 1729 are 1, 7, 13, 19, 91. Sum those together, that gives you 110. Then you got 133. I don't want to look behind me. Damn it. 247, and 1729. And I find this interesting that these four on this side and these four on this side would kind of create a seam. And I find it interesting that if you add 1729, 247, and 133 together, you get 2109. You can do the math. That ends in a 10, and that's a 9, so maybe it's right. And because we've used these as 1, 7, 13, 110. We've used these numbers already, and all we've done is sum these numbers. We're not quite at 2143, so we need some more numbers. All I said is that you have to reduce all the numbers we've used. So a 91 is a 10, 901 is a 10, 19 is a 10. A 7 and a 3 would be a 10. So you have a 10, 10, 10, and a 1 and a 1, so it's like 32. So if you add 32 to that, you get 21, 41. So you're missing two things, but the way I see it is that we looked at this one way, and we looked at this a different way. So that would be my factor of 2 to there. So it shows kind of how the divisors of this kind of make this, which is there in the heart. Like, I don't know what to say. It's kind of epically awesome. But here's the thing. If you look at the end here, at the 2143 and go 1 up, and the 110 and go 1 up, you kind of see a 1729 circled. Ramanujan's number right there. If you were to see it a different way. So what this means, where you're 1, 7, 13, 110, 21, 43 are, you have a 7, 12, and a 91. And I can see a 1, 7, 2, 9, and let's just bubble it all together. Interesting, right? What I find even more interesting now is, let's get back to source, where your elusive circled 69. The one before it is a ring, and that's the only ring on the board. I find it interesting. So let's see how many steps it takes to get there. So if this is, let's say, is circled 1729, from a certain point of view, obviously, what's above the 91? Well, it's just 50, 28, 13. So let's just do 50, 28, 13, Roman numeral V, number 4, a circle with a slash through it. Then you're going to have, this is actually not there, I guess, a circle with a slash through it, a circle with a slash through it, and then a ring, and then your circled 6, 9, which is like 2 bubbles in a bubble. Okay? So what I just defined right there is, after this to there, you're going to go 50, 28, 13, V, 4, 0, 0, ring. Oh, there's only 2. There's only 2, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, that's you, Caprinky. So, what does that sum to? So let's say we use this already as a solution. We solved this part. Alright, so that'd be 78, that'd be 88, 91. No, that's not what I did. I used the 91 because it's the bubble. I drew this wrong, actually. I think I should have went from the top of the one all the way around and then connected with the bottom of the one. So it really looks like there's like a butt to the joke. So that part, let's say, yeah, 91. So 91 and 50, oh, what is it? 91 and 78, no. Yeah, why can't I do math? Okay, so 91 plus 50 plus 28 plus 13. Okay, so let's just add this column. 91, 99, 109, 119, 169. Interesting, I circled 69. 169, 179, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190, 191. So 191 plus this V, and a V is the 22nd letter, or the Roman numeral 5. So 2 2 is a 4, 5 and 4 is a 9. So 191 plus 9 is 200. I did that so poorly. So, again, you're circled 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 21, 43 is above it. Half of that is 1929, but because we divided it by 2, and I looked at the division symbol differently to subtract 200 from it to get Ramanujan's number, where the divisors are 1, 7, 13, 110, 21, 43, and then I found the 1729 in the reckoner, kind of, something that kind of like smelled like it. And then when I looked at, again, if this is 1729, most of it's here, and followed ass end to here for some inexplicable reason, because I was talking about that earlier with the footballs, because they're talking about the third column, the seventh column. Yeah, this would sum to 169, 179, 182, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190, 191, 191 plus 9, because 22 and 5 is kind of get 4 and a 5 is 9, so that's 200. So 1729 becomes 1929, and because it's only a single bubble, it's only half of the yin and yang part. It seems fitting that together it would become 3858. I don't know if that worked, but that was my roundabout first time attempt to try to explain to you why I find this very interesting on my reckoner, because it shows up everywhere. How this find very interesting because I did math about stuff along the times of goes. How I found this 5-to-1 relationship with this number very interesting and greatly depressing, and about your country you live in, probably, if you're from North America. And how this is in all advertising and everything all the time, and so is this. It's always everywhere. And I just kind of found I needed to find a 200. And I was looking at, well, if I'm dividing it, maybe it's not done. I haven't taken both sides of the frame of reference. Like your adding and multiplication would be grouped together, and the division and subtraction, and I was just by 2. If I divide by 3, that'd be ... 3. So, and then I just did this, the part I always look at, and I'm looking over here now, and it's interesting that this sums to 169, and there's like a 6 here, and like a 6 and a 91 with an 8 in the middle, but that the 8 again is different, it's like 2 bubbles. 2, 8. Anyway, I'm looking at things from different points of view. Found what I thought to be this number, what I then found to be, if I account for all things in the Roman numeral numerically, it kind of comes up to 200, which is the difference. Now what am I talking about here? 1/2 of the heart. 1/4 of the reckoner. So it's not hard, but yeah.